Hey, come on, Jay, we're burning daylight. Let's ride. Oh, there she is.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah. How you doing there, Miss Bright Ranch?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. You ready?
Woohoo!
Okay. We got Mom out in the garden. The cat's keeping her company. All right, let's go. What time is it, Jay?
I don't have my phone.
Okay. What day is it?
Friday?
Yep. All right, well, we did it. We're that much closer to being on time in the morning. Thank you for getting out in the barn. We're going to go ahead and take it up the hill, and Jay, why don't you go and lead us out? Take Jessica with you. It's a little conditioning track we have up, and gives us an incline and decline. It's really good for the horses to stretch their shoulders and push with their hips and hindquarters. And we'll walk trot today, and we'll build up to lope. I want to work the ground up a little bit more, but we've got a beautiful morning here in San Martin, California at the Bright Ranch. And we're going to spend a little time today riding horses. What else are we doing today?
I'm going on a socially distanced hike with my One Heart to Another group.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so One Heart to Another is like a group of young women who we come together once a week on Tuesdays, virtually as of recent events, but we basically volunteer and help in the community, and we're also faith-based, so we like go over the Bible and scripture and like how can we incorporate that into our lives, and it's a non-profit group, so everything we do just goes back to the community. Yeah, and so we're all gonna get together for the first time in a while and go on a local hike and keep our distance, but also have each other's company. So I'm really excited.
Can you use your legs while you're talking? Can you use your legs and talk at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, what should I talk about now?
Well, we're walking and talking, but I'd like you to keep riding. Atta girl. Okay. Yeah, let's go and trot them up. And we're off. So, like we were talking about, Jess, is that, it's teasing you a little, but to be able to ride and talk, and we call it walk and talk for clients. And one of my lesson clients were asking, about this progression. I said, well, it's a pretty simple test. If you can walk and talk and still be able to maintain directional control, speed control, use your legs, continue to stay connected with your horse, then we trot and talk. And you should be able to trot and talk just like we're walking. And then when you're moving into that more of an intermediate rider, novice intermediate range, is when you can lope your horse on the front lead and lope next to me and have a conversation. And at that point, you're going to be pretty solid with your riding mechanics. Once those physical habits are ingrained, your brain doesn't have to think about it anymore. So we go from the unconsciously incompetent to the consciously incompetent to the consciously competent. So we're ultimately hoping to reach unconsciously competent. So to be able to ride with your body on one hand, and still have a conversation.
So Dad just asked me, how would you talk to yourself as if you and your horse are like one body? So how would you talk to your body? And so when he said that, I picturized me like floating outside of my body, like watching my body. And what I would be doing is like tapping it. Like, okay, put your left arm up. Like I would tap it from the back and make it try to move forward. Or if I wanted it to go, I would like kind of push it, which I feel like would be the equivalent of like pushing your legs, like, you know, like talking with your legs. Just like alerting like those body parts to move. I don't know, that's just the first thing I imagine.
Do you remember Avatar?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember when they were riding the horse-like animals?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when the riders were plugged?
Yeah, they would sync up.
They would sync up,
Yeah.
right?
That was cool.
So that's what we do. Good riders do that. So the horse becomes an extension of your body. So your brain and your body then signals the horse what you'd like the horse to do. And when there's a disconnect, it means that your body and the horse is not talking to each other.
Yeah.
You want that biofeedback, you want that communication loop to just always be flowing, right? And that's in part what I talk about. Understanding that, you know, your horse's eyes are on the side of his head. Your eyes are on the front of your head. You're a predator. He's a prey animal. And that's how you differentiate between the two. But what I was talking about earlier this morning, and you're just kind of waking up right now, but look around. See the world through your horse's eyes. Because you're the brain trust. You're the pilot. You're the rider. So you can't simply look at where you're going or look at the horse's head. You've got to go 360 and understand that what the horse sees out of his left eye is different than what he sees out of his right eye. So they have binocular and monocular vision. They can see out of both eyes looking forward, like Steady is right now. See his ears? See Jay's ears? But they can also see over there in the pasture, right? And they can also see over here in the vineyard. And that's monocular vision. We have 3 Canadian geese that have stopped by to graze a little bit, hanging out in the arena. We had a breeding pair last year that actually hatched their goslings in the pasture, and then when they got old enough, they walked them through the arena all the way down the road. We have about 11-acre lake down the street in Cordoval. I'm finally herding geese. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about looking where you want to go. There's the 2-second rule. My 2-second rule is you want to see the world through your horse's eyes. You should not fixate on any one thing longer than 2 seconds. See how she's... Where are you going, Jay? Are you going out the arena? Are you riding out the arena? No, you're riding over here. So when you're there, you should be looking over there. Got it? Never look outside of the arena. You follow your track that you want that horse. So your eye is like a monorail. You got a little red laser dot that you're projecting 60 feet out in front of you. Okay? And remember the 2-second rule. You're not allowed to look at anything longer than 2 seconds. So every time you fixate on his head, he's winning. Let's go. Okay, he's making you look at him. When you look at him, you stop riding. There you go. Look up. There you go. Look at me. Look at me. Atta girl. I love her. She's trying so hard. It's just like if you're playing on a soccer field. You want to see the whole field, right? Keep an eye on the players that are running at you. Be a little defensive in terms of protecting your body. It's the same thing. So it looks good. You're doing fine. That's a trap that all riders fall into, watching their horse's head. It's actually just a defensive default. And it's a real subconscious level, you know. It's like whenever we feel threatened by something, we look at it. And what we're trying to do is move beyond that defensive default that controls the rider versus the rider controlling their default. What happens is when you go, hey, I'm telling you to go, you look at them. But you don't want to do that because it changes your body position. Especially if you're on a corner and you're circling, you know, you want your body turned slightly into the circle, right? Okay. But what happens if you do this and just look at them? Because all you see is right here. So that means your body's gone straight and you're kicking your horse and looking at him. And he's looking at you and you're looking at him. And guess what? Neither one of you know where you're going, right? So if you're the pilot, fly the plane. Stop flying the plane crashes. See if you can race that black bull. You think you can beat him?
He's not moving.
That's the idea. Let's get you moving. Come on. Eyes up. Eyes up. To the left. Look left. Atta girl. Hey, you know, we were talking about, you know, canter departure. And in other words, how do you lope the horse off on the correct lead? And so just remember that you want a little contact and then your leg slides back and we're going to move his haunches in, okay? And when I do that, you'll get the correct lead every time. But I'm just going to walk into it and you can watch. I'll lope around a couple circles, but now we're talking about leads, remember? Horse leads in a 3-beat gait. When he's loping, it's a 3-beat gait. He's going to be leading with a forelead and a hind lead. And I want you to watch that.
Yeah, you can see that the hind and forward lead, they go together. So that's his lead. You can also see the left hind and forward leg are also together, but the right foot is his lead.
What lead was he on?
He was on his left over there.
Very good, all the way around. That was excellent. Good job.
So this session was a lot about like, kind of like your relationship with the horse, I guess you could say in a way, because in this session I learned like there's a 2-second rule and you can't stare at anything for longer than 2 seconds or else basically like you're not really telling your horse where you want to go. Like you don't really know where you're like looking forward to, because you always kind of have to be like planning ahead and like looking forward. You can't like, you know, like you have to focus on what you're doing and not be distracted. So you have to keep moving. And then also never just staring at your horse, like either when you're correcting them or when you're riding them, like looking down is letting them win basically, and like fixating on them is like basically just like letting them win, and you have to be the one to look up, look around, know where you're going and that sort of thing, and just having like the directional control over your horse. And yeah, this was a really good lesson today. It's just things that you take in with every time you ride. Like every time you ride, you have to remember these things. These are like non-negotiables. It's like, for example, Dad was trying to help me be able to imagine like what exactly he is asking, and that is to constantly be scanning the arena, scanning the area you're riding in. And he compared it to like playing soccer, because I used to play soccer, and like being a left defender, I'm constantly scanning the field, constantly reading the body language and like seeing where other players are positioned and just knowing like the area that I'm in. And yeah, so this was a really good lesson today.
Jessica's hay guard
She figured it out. I think it was that one. Move, sweetie.
Go all the way in the lane. Go in the lane.
In the lane?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They will attack
Yeah.
me.
Let's go.
Oh God, Dad, I'm literally gonna get murdered.
No, you're not. You're fine.
Keep going. I'm literally gonna get stabbed.
Push it all the way up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Dad, I'm
Let's
definitely
go.
getting stabbed.
You're not getting stabbed.
Dad,
No,
this
come
is-
on. Come on. Let's go.
This is why we don't do this.
This is how I do it.
Oh, look at Bandit. Come on, buddy. His mom's on the outside.
Let's go. Move it. So what you do is you feed all the way.
Oh God.
Put it in the corner.
Okay, okay.
Feed. Buddy. Moo. That's good. Okay, now start feeding along the side. Bring the cart over here.
Hi, Mama.
Again.
Figure it
Right
out.
there. Let's go.
No, you go eat somewhere else. Here. Yum yum.
So that wasn't so bad, was it?
At first, they were literally like attacking each other. Ah. I definitely
No,
thought
they weren't
I was gonna
attacking.
Get a horn to the rib. Don't trip
How-
over your whip, mister.
How would you like to be a bullfighter in Spain?
I would not.
So I talked to Jessica this morning about starting to work cattle, on horseback, and about riding to position. So handling all this stuff on the ground, getting used to handling the cows and see how they move on the ground is really important. If you can work them on the ground, then that transfers into working them from horseback. Back, there you go, just like that. You can step in and block them, or you can release pressure. And I'm glad you love them. So that's Christmas. She was born the day before. There she is. There's Bandit's mom.
She's one of my favorites.
Yeah, she's really sweet.
She's so sweet. She lets me pet her.
And here comes Panda.
I'm gonna act distracted.
Call them, yeah. I call him Panda because he's black and white. Well, somebody's coming to say hi.
Hi. I love you.
And then here comes Bandit.
She's so nice.
Say goodbye.
Here you go.